have that to go back to should we need it. I'm going to share my screen, and I always say at any time you have any questions, or I'm going too fast, or maybe I'm not explaining something very clearly, feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions, or I also have the chat pulled up, so you can also ask away in the chat as well. So the first thing we're going to do is go to desk. So we're always going to start with desk, mycvdesk.com. And we're going to go into InTouch. Yours will take you right in. Mine always makes me click an extra button. But we're going to go straight into InTouch, and we're going to end up at our home screen. And from there, you'll see the account information over here on the side. We're going to click on that. We're going to click on My Account. It's crucial to go in and just to double check our account. I go in about once a month and just double check mine, see if anything's been updated, you know, if I have any new designations to add, anything of that nature. Your main page here that you'll find all of your profile details, and that's really important because those are the details that are going to come out in your marketing and for this purpose on your agent website. So I can hit this nice blue edit button here, and that's where I can get into all of the fields and make updates. As a real estate agent, I do have to have my title. It can be realtor. That needs to be in all caps with that little registered symbol. If you have an alt, if you have a numbers pad on your keyboard, you can hit the alt key. And while pushing down the alt key, you can hit 0174 on the number pad, and that little registered symbol there will pop up. If you don't have a number pad like me, I usually just open another browser and I go to Google and I Google registered symbol, and I just take it here and copy it and I paste it in there. You can also be associate broker or salesperson, depending on which is present on your real estate license. They do not like us to use sales associate. The Real Estate Commission feels that that is a little confusing for consumers, but I always say if you guys have paid all this money to be a realtor, you can go ahead and use that. I'm a field marketing specialist, although I am licensed. I'm not a realtor, so I go ahead and use my title there. What I've also done here is with the display name, this is used on your website, in your marketing pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and I've included my title here as well. And what that's going to do is it's actually going to come up here on the top of my page. You can see I'm a little cheeky, but here it's going to come up on the top of my page so that I have that title along with my name. It's also going to come up in all of my marketing. So there are times that I need, you know, I might have realtor twice. I just need to take one of them out of there. That's okay. And as for your display name and your legal name, because we are in the state of Maryland, we have to be very careful that we're using the name that is on our pocket card, that's on our actual license. Maryland Real Estate Commission has squeezed an extra $25 out of me because I am an Angela. I don't want to mark it as Angela. I don't go by that name. No one knows me by that name. So I definitely have to be Angie. And in order to have that on my marketing, on my website, on my business card, on anything that I push out, I have to have that extra, pay that extra money to have that nickname. Because now it's my nickname and it's included on my license. I can include that on my website, and everything that I push out can have Angie on it instead of Angela. If you have any designations, they go here. You definitely want to make sure that you Google NAR designations and go through. It will be the first one that pops up, and you can go through and you can see which ones actually have the little registered symbol. There's not many. CPM, ABR, CRE, SRES, GRI does not. So you just want to make sure that you're including that little registered symbol. And the NAR does request that you put these in alphabetical order, not the order that you like them. So that's there as well. External email, I do have my CB Move. You may have cbrealty.com. Your website address will be here in most cases if you're not pro. That's going to be your first name, last name, .cbintouch.com, and your CRM email will be your first name, last name at cbintouch.com. What that is if someone goes to your website and they register up here, and they message you or they do anything, it's going to come into this InTouch market leader system. It's going to connect directly with your CRM, with your client relationship management tool that helps you to be able to lead gen, to get in touch with them, to reach out to them. And it also is beneficial because once they start browsing your website again, you're going to get that email to let them know, that lets you know that they're on your website. If you would like a reply to email, kind of jumping down a little bit, that's going to be the email address that's used in your marketing designs where you receive replies. So if you print out an open house flyer, if you send out a postcard, in most cases, most agents do prefer to use their CB Move or CB Realty email address for those pieces, and you can actually determine whichever you prefer. Call to action, if you have a slogan, if you're part of a team and you have a slogan or something, some kind of call to action. Excuse me, mine's always just been, let's get moving. So contact me, let's get moving, let's go, let's buy, let's sell, let's have some fun with real estate. Because we're in Maryland, so over on the right-hand side, because we're in Maryland, you do not are not required to include your license number. However, if you would like to include that, you can. So I can always put in my license number there if I want. It will display on my website if I want it to. If I am a member of a team, I can toggle for that. I put my cell phone number in and my office number. And this is a really nice feature as well, something that is a little bit newer, contact methods to show on your website. So I'm an Android user. I don't have Facetime, so I don't have that checked. The nice thing is that that will not show on my website. So if I go to actually, I don't think I have the cell on here anymore. But let's go to Sandy's so that I can actually show you what that's going to look like. When I go to her cell page, let me find it. Oh, contact Sandy. There we go. So contact Sandy, you're going to see she has all of the prearranged here. If she decided that she was going to uncheck Skype or she was going to uncheck FaceTime, they just wouldn't appear on the screen. So don't think that, somebody's going to look at this and they're going to go, oh, look, well, she doesn't do Skype or she doesn't do WhatsApp. They're just not even going to, see it. So also in here, you'll see your marketing website. So that should be auto-filled. It should match your site here. And then your marketing address is just going to be your office address. Make sure that you have your realtor logo and your equal housing logo checked off. Equal housing logo is always very essential to everything we do as agents. And your disclaimer, that will be grayed out. That's automatically filled in for you so that you're compliant with real estate law and identity brand standards for Coldwell Banker Realty. As you scroll down, you'll see a place to put your full bio. As well as a bio summary. So this does get a little bit tricky, and I have had several agent questions about it. So your full bio is actually going to live on your about page on your website. So you can click through, you'll see your about page, it'll have your photo, it'll have your contact information, and then your personal bio will live here. The reason why I point that out is there is a page that is an about page, and sometimes agents get a little confused and they say, well, like I put my information in here, I'm coming here and I'm not seeing my personalized bio. Anything you put on the about page will live at the bottom of your about page. So just remember that when you're in your account, it is the full bio here that will come up again on the top of your about page. And the little bio summary that's here Again, just a brief experience, your experience or philosophy. These are your why. Out of all the real estate agents in the world, why am I going to call you to represent my best interests, to sell my home, to buy, to rent? Why am I going to call you? Why am I going to refer my friends and family to you? So I have just a little snippet of what I have here in my full bio. And where that's going to live is you're going to have the opportunity, and I will show you how to do this, to add what's called a widget on your page. The particular widget that I have selected does give a small synopsis of my particular bio. So here I do have, visit the Meet Me tab above, to read my full bio, get to know me more, and they can click on that Meet Angie, and you'll see that here. And again, with the contact page, you'll see here, I have Zoom, I have Google Duo. I do not have Skype. I do not have FaceTime, and they're not showing. So it's not like they're saying, hey, look, she doesn't do FaceTime. It's just giving some additional good virtual meeting options for me. So as we go through, again, we want to make sure that we're saving anything that you update. You always want to make sure that you save it. And then we're going to go down to the very bottom, and that's where we're going to add our social media. So anytime, and the system has kicked me out, so we're going to go right back in. Anytime that we talk about social media for real estate, we're talking about your business information. I'm not going to send anybody to my personal profile on Facebook, on Instagram, because they're not looking to connect with me on a personal level. They're looking to connect with me on a business level. They're looking for that Coldwell Banker Realty, Angie Myers information. They're looking for your business stuff. So here you can see I have a Facebook page. I have LinkedIn. Instagram I didn't have, so I've just used Coldwell Bankers. Same thing for the blog. Now, let's say you also have, for example, a YouTube channel. So you can go to your YouTube channel, you can copy the link for that channel, any social media, you can go directly to your business page, copy that link. We're going to go into add social media. We're going to choose that particular social media that we want. You can see there is just a lot of social media in here. I'm just going to go ahead and paste that particular link, and I'm going to save it. So you'll see now that I have 5 different social media links, from Facebook to Instagram, LinkedIn, a blog, and YouTube, so that when I go to my website and I go ahead and do a refresh, what's going to happen is I'm going to have 4 on my main page. So usually I do recommend putting in the 4 that you use the most first. And then when someone goes to your Meet page, they're going to see all of your social media there. So again, you'll see I only have the first 4. They put them on there, and then when they go to your About page, you can get to all of the social media. So just be aware that that is there. You also want to go over to the left-hand side on this menu bar under My Account, and we want to look at our office information. The biggest thing that I found is once you click on that office information, so mine is for whatever reason being a little wonky right now. Generally speaking, you're going to find the office information. You're going to find your office address will be there. Okay, so it looks like it has, for some reason, I'll have to put in a help desk ticket. It keeps signing me out. It's going to be difficult today. But we can go in, look at that office information. So here it is. It's going to pop up. You're going to have your office address, your office phone number, if you guys still have a fax. And then just make sure that this says Eastern time. A lot of time it defaults to Pacific time. And where that's going to come into play is if you have someone that's surfing your website and they send you a message, we want to make sure that we're getting that with the correct time attached to it. The next one down, we're going to find My Images, and that's where you're able to put your professional headshot. So again, we always recommend that's the same headshot that I'm finding of you on LinkedIn, your Facebook business page, your website. If I go to coldwellbanker.com, everywhere that I find you for business, I'm going to see the exact same photo. We always recommend, even if it's not taken by a professional photographer, that it is professional in look, because remember, this is the very first impression that someone has of you. So probably not in my best interest as an agent to just take a selfie and post that. Again, it doesn't have to, you can see I just have a plain background there. Mine's probably a little more close up than I would like. But you can have that taken in your office in front of a blank wall with just something, professional that you're wearing, and that would work too. Your marketing logo. I will warn you, although when you upload the logo, you can choose from multiple logos. This is stamped on your marketing pieces. So if you select white, a lot of the marketing pieces will be white on white, and you will have no logo that appears. So I always do check a Coldwell Banker Blue logo for that piece. I will show you in just a moment how to update the logo on your website as well. And then Office, you do have the option of including a photo at the very bottom of your website on your About page. So if we were to go, for example, to my website, and we were to toggle on the About page, I've renamed it Meet Angie. We toggle down to the bottom. That's where you're going to find that office photo. So if you would like to give some information about your office, if you'd like to talk about the strengths of being a Coldwell Banker agent, that's an excellent place to do that. So here we've done a lot of the information that's going to push through to our website. Again, that professional photo is important, because when we go to the website, that's where it's, that's how you get your photo to come up on your website. So from there, we've covered all of the account, the bio, the headshot, the information. Now we're going to jump into the actual website itself. This is the fun part. So we're going to go in, we're going to edit site. If you're pro, you'll also see information there for blogging. So apparently mine is experiencing some issues today. Again, I do apologize for that. We'll go ahead and refresh, and we'll keep working on it. So we'll go in. And again, we're going to go into website. It's going to be on that blue bar at the top. We're going to edit site, and that's going to throw us into pages and menus. So this is where you're going to customize the structure and the layout of your website. All of the headers and the tabs that you see here, all of these pages that are constructed from the top to the bottom, when I go to my actual website itself, they are going to read from left to right. So we can see it starts with home, it ends with my schedule and my workshops. And here it starts with home and it ends with schedule and workshops. Anything you see that it's indented, that's going to pop up as a sub page underneath. So you can build entire menus if you would like to. That's just an additional way to get some additional content on your page. So if you want to adjust the location of any of these items, you can toggle and determine what order you would like them in. Perhaps I want my Coldwell Banker to be the very first tab on the left. I can just drag and drop that, or maybe I've decided I want to, place that back where I had it. I just have to make sure that I hit the save button. So it's very easy, just kind of drag and drop. If I have a page here, and let's say I want to say like why Coldwell Banker, and I want to make that a sub page. Maybe I want, when somebody hovers over Meet Angie, they see a Contact Angie, and then they see why Coldwell Banker. I can drag and drop that over as well. And then I can drag and drop in the order I want it. So now that would become a sub page. Or if I want it to be a regular page, again, anything that you see on the outside will be a header. Anything on the inside will be a drop-down menu sub-page on your website. You do want to limit your website header tabs. So all of these tabs, we want to limit them to 10. Also because on a smaller screen, like a mobile phone, it can start to wrap where people can't see everything and they have to kind of move back and forth. Also, the maximum character limit, you will run out of characters. So if you try to be too wordy, it will cut you off at 20 characters, but shorter is better, especially for mobile and tablets and things of that nature. And although I can toggle on and off a lot of these, the home screen, the search, the about, the sell, and the communities pages cannot be unpublished. They cannot be deleted. They will always be on your page no matter what. Now you can rename them. So my about page here, I've gone to the page button here. It is a drop-down menu. I can go in and edit this page. I can rename it, change my SEO settings, or view the page. So here, if I want to rename it, I can just go in and change that name here. It used to say about, now it says Meet Angie, and I can save that information. Once I've saved that into the system, it's not going to save because it's the same that it already is. I also want to hit that save button there at the top. You can see here I had a careers page. I clicked the button and I actually unpublished that particular page. You'll see I have a couple that I've unpublished. They're going to come up in this gray. What the benefit of that is let's say that I'm in there and I'm actually editing a page. I don't want someone to stumble upon it as I'm working on it and it's half finished because it doesn't look very professional. So I can go in and I can unpublish that. I can edit the page. When it's complete, I can publish that. And I can have that there where I'm not losing that information. So you'll see here I have upcoming open houses. Right now, I don't have any upcoming open houses, so I've unpublished that page. When I need to, I can go in and edit. I can edit that page as I see fit, and I can, let's see if it's going to allow me to do that. Oh, it's not going to allow me to do that. But I can go in normally and let me go ahead and refresh one more time. Sorry about that. I do have a help desk ticket in with my InTouch. It was being a little bit wonky last week. So again, into website, into edit site, very easy to get back into it for any reason. But I can go in and I can unpublish that. I can work on it as I need to. But the very first thing that you want to do is click over here on website and click on appearance. This is where you're going to see what your website logo is going to look like. Again, I can choose any of the logos that I want. That's really going to be based upon the header on my website. So you can see here I have a Coldwell Banker blue header, so I have a white logo. We know that the rule with our logo, that the basic rule to follow is a white logo has to be on a dark background and the Coldwell Banker blue logo has to be on a light colored background. So just want to make sure that I'm following that. And where that comes into play is down here with the setup wizard. So we have a website setup wizard that's going to take us through the layout, the colors, the fonts, the images, all of the optional things that we can include to customize our InTouch agent website. So here I'm going to launch the website setup wizard. And wizard just kind of means that it's going to take me along piece by piece, and it's going to kind of let me know what it needs from me. So I'm going to go ahead and set that up. And the first thing it's going to bring me to is the layout of my page. Once this pops up, you're going to see 3 different options of what your website could look like, how we want it set up, how the headers on the top are going to present, you know, and we can decide if we want the top to be dark with light text or light with dark text. So let's see if I can set that up again. Again, my apologies that this is being a little bit wonky today. So here we'll go in one more time. So let's launch that website. There we go. It's just being a little finicky. Again, my apologies. So how would you like your site to look? You know, choose the layout. It's going to give you, I won't read it to you. You can go in and look through it. But it's going to give you tips here to optimize the layout. So we can see here that it's it prefers a logo that has a landscape shape. So that would be one of these flat logos here, is going to be the best for this particular layout. I can also go through and choose this layout if I prefer that one, or this layout where everything is justified to the left. Again, it's going to give me some tips and tricks, and I can also toggle here and see what that's going to look like with a light background. You can see here it went from blue and white to white and blue. And here again, that light colored background. So you can determine whatever you prefer is the correct answer. It's your website. And then I'm going to toggle to the next page. On the next page, it's going to allow me to choose the different colors that I want to use. Now, here's where you want to be very careful. You're going to automatically come up with primary. The 012169 is going to be our Coldwell Banker blue. We also have a secondary color, and you can go in and select any secondary color that you would like. You can also edit if you choose a specific color. Let's say I wanted it to be purple. Let's say I want to do purple. I can do that as well. I can toggle, any color that I want it to be, and I can use any color. And you'll see here now it's going to show me that color. Where this comes into play is if you've used Design Concierge and you have had a logo created for you, they will give you the color codes for the colors in your logo. You can plug them into your website and everything is completely customized for your brand and your business. Now, I probably wouldn't have purple on my website, but I'm going to leave that there just to show you where that's going to come into play and what that's going to look like. Also here with Tradewinds, you'll see you can select your headline font, and you might be looking at these and saying, well, I don't know what Laura looks like, but if we click on Laura, we're going to see that font style here written in that particular font. So Open Sans, we can see what that's going to look like. Tradewinds is a little bit funky. That's the one I always use, just to remind you guys that you can choose that. They do recommend Roboto or Open Sans for readability on all devices. Your headline text color, you can also choose that as well. Just again, be very careful in choosing those colors. We always want to look at our website once we've made these changes to make sure that everything is easy to read for our consumers. We're going to go ahead and hit the next button. When you first toggle on this, do not panic if you only see one photo. You're going to start with one photo. You're able to add another, and add another. Once you get to 4, you can either remove them or edit them as you see fit. So you can actually choose up to 4 hero images for what is known as a masthead area on your website. So what that means is when someone goes to your website, you're going to see this main photo here. It's always going to be at the very top of your homepage. And then if you've chosen other photos, they're going to kind of slide on through every few seconds. So we want to make sure, number one, that we're using high definition photos. Number 2, we want to always ensure that we are using photos that we have license to use. I cannot go to Google and just Google some pretty house pictures and pop them up on my website. I have worked with agents that have had received a copyright infringement because they're using something that's copyrighted. And I always go kind of back to, if I paid a professional photographer to take listing photos, and then somebody came along later and listed that house and used my photos, wouldn't I be angry because I paid for those? It's kind of that same concept. So I can go in at any time and I can edit any of these photos. I can hit the edit button. I want to go ahead and choose. I can choose anything if I've already uploaded it into my system. I can choose anything I've already uploaded. I can go into the catalog here. And click on banners, and there are a lot of beautiful photos here in the system that I can use. I definitely want to choose something that looks like the area that I serve. I probably don't want to use the desert or the beach as much as I love palm
Kylie?
trees. If you guys can mute yourselves, please, so we don't have any feedback on the recording.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Happens all the time. But yeah, as you're going through, you can select, and you'll see they have a lot of really nice interior shots as well. You can choose the one that you want. Also from choose, you can also go in and upload your own image. So again, that's where you're able to go to brand serve. You can find some beautiful photography and brand serve. I also use unsplash.com. You can use Canva. If you're a Canva user, you can select the file from your computer and hit that upload button. From here, you're also able to choose a headline. If I'm using a listing photo, maybe I want it to say, search 123 Main Street. The headline does display as white text in the middle of the image, and you can toggle over that little button there. It'll give you this information. If you add a headline, just know that your image will darken slightly, just because it wants to make that text very readable. So I can always say, marketing done right because I'm a marketing person, or search 123 Main Street for more details. Imagine the power in a listing presentation where here I'm going over everything that I'm going to give to you. I'm a listing concierge user, so I'm going over all of this information. I have a professional photographer, and I have a digital marketing team at my disposal. And I also have a marketing specialist that I work with one-on-one. And that's no extra cost to you, my seller, because those are things that I provide for you. I'm already invested in selling your home. But in addition to that, that because I, own my own business and I'm always pushing out my website, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take your property and I'm going to put it on my website itself. Everybody that comes to visit my website is going to see your listing. I'm going to upload their photo here. I'm going to give that information here. In the meta description, we won't go into SEO and meta descriptions, but here it's just a little bit more accessibility. It's letting Google, Yahoo, and Bing know, why is this page important? Again, images, just make sure, if they're very, very large, they can be beautiful, but they will slow your website down. And we know people only have an 8-second attention span. So in the past 15, 20 years, that's actually gone down 4 seconds. I believe 2007, I was just watching a video the other day, it was 12 seconds, now it's 8 seconds. And again, meta descriptions can improve your rankings. We want to make sure, again, that we're meeting ADA and fair housing requirements for those. I just put my name in there, Coldwell Banker Realty, because I found that Google really likes to pull stuff for Coldwell Banker because it's such a large company, but of course I want my name on there too. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Again, I have 4 images. I basically have the same meta description. You can, work on that with your marketing specialist to determine what you want on there. Once you get those photos in, we're going to go ahead and hit the next button. And this is where you can get some, final options, review your selection, look at your layout. So what information do I want to include? I want my name, I want my company, my cell phone, my office number, my social media links. I want all of that on my website, or maybe you don't. So these are options. So some MLSs do require you have your brokerage name. So you're kind of covered in the fact that technically our logo is the CB star. We know that we always have to use our Coldwell Banker Realty logo itself because that makes us compliant with Maryland real estate law. So maybe I don't want to include the company name here. You'll see when I toggle off, that's going to kind of refresh, and it's going to take that information off. I can put that information back on. It'll refresh, it'll add it. So really what's easiest to see here on this very small little screen is if I toggle off of social media links, you'll see that all those little icons disappeared. If I want to include them on my main page, I can toggle that again and they will appear. You can also show a property search on your main image. So here I have that little bar that comes up that says, Mine just says, can I refer you, because I'm a referral agent, because I don't compete, but it could say discover your dream home here. Just know that when you toggle on that, it will let the client know that they have to search by address or zip code or neighborhood. So it'll give them that information. I can also determine where I want to place that. Do I want it in the middle? Do I want it on the side? Do I, anywhere that I want to put that? Or maybe I don't want to have that on there at all. And I've had some agents ask, well, why would I want to take that out? It's because you will have the opportunity to add a different widget. And here you can see where that purple that I chose is coming up. Here's that purple color. So that's where that secondary color is coming in. So I've decided I don't want to show that on my main image. I'm just going to leave it as is, and I'm going to save. So once I do that, I haven't really made any changes. So if there's an error, that's okay for me. But once I've saved that, I'm going to toggle on website. I'm going to go here to view site, and I'm going to look at my website as it is live. I'll be able to see all of the changes that I made, including my name, my title, all of my social media icons. Again, the first 4 that I have listed are what will show on my main page. I have Coldwell Banker Realty. I have both numbers. Don't fret if they're not labeled here. They are labeled in other places on your website, because we know Maryland real estate law in any marketing, if I've included my own phone number or my own email address, I do have to include the labeled office number, but that's labeled in other places. And here I have that wonderful logo, and I did choose the landscape logo because that's what the system recommended to me. And you'll see I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wait for all of my photos to kind of go through. I want to make sure that they're not taking too long. I want to make sure that they look clear, they look nice, they represent me, they represent my brand. You can see mine are a little bit funky. That's just how I am. And here I have something that I made in Canva just to show you guys that you can personalize if you want to with what you have on your website. You can make it very, very personal. From here, again, we have our pages. And I do also like to point out with pages, because sometimes there is a little bit of confusion. Again, I do apologize. It keeps making me toggle out and toggle back in, but we'll make it work. A little bit of patience goes a long way. Yours should be fine. I do have a help desk ticket in for mine. But here on my pages, I have what's called local communities. Yours will just say communities. I've just changed the name of mine. Again, you can go into page, you can go into rename, you can rename that page if you would like to. But we have communities and we have communities served. And these are 2 different sections on your website where you're able to add additional content. This is a wonderful place to put content because it's going to make your website more searchable on Google, Yahoo, and Bing. So once you go into your website, someone clicks on my local communities, what they're going to find is when you go to that communities page, or mine says local communities, you're going to find all of the information here at the top. So I've added hyperlinks for local school information, local libraries, the local sports teams in my area, for the DC Baltimore corridor, local colleges and universities. Now mine happens to be very, very widespread. I serve a lot of offices. I like to kind of give lots of information. As a selling agent, I'm only going to include information for the areas that I'm familiar with, where I'm buying and selling real estate. I like to point this out, however, because you really can customize this as you see fit. But in addition to our communities information, we also have communities served. And that's why I always like to point this out. You can see mine both have the area and the zip code. You can have just the area if you like. I like to have both. And what that's going to do is it's going to map that out. Someone can go and they can see all of the different places. I do remind them. Now mine are where my offices serve. But I like to remind people that these are just some of the places that, I serve. So you'll see if we go to Team Gavin Wins, we go to communities. Oh, look, they have the same information. They've whittled a little bit of it down. And here, communities served, they're just now starting to put their communities served in. So you'll see here they have some different communities that they deal with. So it is a process of getting them uploaded. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment. But what you can do, again, with these pages is build them out and customize them as much as you want. This one happens to be the one that I've customized the most. It's my area of expertise. Here I have a beautiful photo. I took it with my cell phone of, off the local bridge, some beautiful properties and boats in the water, and it was a beautiful day. About the neighborhood, I've would caution you, just be careful. I don't ever put anything about people in any of my marketing, just to make sure that I am under fair housing guidelines. But there is some good information here about the community. You can also add personalized information about that community. This gives a little bit more information. You don't have to be this wordy. You can just do bullet points, but this particular area is a planned urban development. It's outside of the larger area of Joppa. It was built in the 60s. It gives some information of all the different places. And some of this is valuable information. If I'm listing or buying in this area, it's important that people know that I know this area. Again, you don't have to be this detailed. I just like to give a little more information. For example, there's a place that has a DriveThru Pharmacy. That might be very valuable to someone. They might decide to live in this area because of that. I did get permission from Harford County to put in this lovely video. Reach out to some of your government agencies if they have video on the communities that you serve, to see if you're able to share that. I've embedded this. I will show you how to do that in just a moment. Some different clubs. I have lots of hyperlinks. I have a Moxie presentation. I have used an iframe to put in a Prospect Square area report. I also have a link to that report. Someone can click on it. They can just go straight to the area report for this particular area. And I've included additional photos underneath. Because my IDX is set up, I can go through, someone can automatically go through and see the listings in the area. They can click through, and they can get access to all of those properties that are currently on the market in that area. So there is a difference. Again, local communities, if I go in to edit that particular page, apparently it's not going to allow me to show you that, but that's going to be all of that information at the very, very top. And then we have communities served as well. Communities served, when that comes up, actually here, let me go in. We're going to go into an agent account, just hopefully to make sure that this doesn't keep happening. Go into Sandy's because I know that she has quite a few in hers as well. So in hers, and she's pro, but she has you guys have all the same. Even if you're not pro, you're able to do this. So again, we're going to go into website and then to edit site. And we'll see here communities. If we were go to that page and hit edit page, you can see she just has some information here at the top. So she doesn't have any additional information. That's okay. But I do like the fact that it says explore some of the communities that I serve by clicking the links below. So just letting them know, you are the local expert. I might go on to just say, if you don't find the area you're looking for, please contact me, because again, I could refer them to a different area. If they want to live in DC, I can't help them. I'm licensed in Maryland, but I can definitely refer them to a great Coldwell Banker Realty agent in DC, get a referral fee for that conversation. Here we also have the communities served, and you'll see here that information looks a little bit different. So once you start feeding in your communities, again, that's going to come up on the bottom. Because she has used the zip codes, it's going to pin them all to the map as well. And if I want to add a new one, I can just add the community here. I can go in, start at the top. Maybe I want to add in Westminster. If you want to add the zip code, you can. It's not necessary. But here's where I'm going to add the zip code here. I'm going to choose it from the drop-down menu because that's going to pin it on the map for me. I can do a little community summary if I would like to. I can type all I want about this particular community. That's where you can add hyperlinks. So let's say I've gone to, let's say Westminster has a really great website, and it does. So great. So we're going to go here. We're going to grab, we're going to copy that particular URL, and we can say, you know, welcome to Westminster. Discover more information about this wonderful, you know, about this town here. And then it's like GPS. I want to write what it is that I want to say. I want to highlight it. I've already got my URL where I want to send people. So I'm going to go ahead and insert the link. I'm going to paste that link in. I want it to come out in a new window because I don't want them to leave my website. I'm going to hit OK. Now, I'm not going to be able to click on this from here because I'm still in the edit field. But you will see that it will turn purple. It will underline it. This just lets me know that it is, in fact, hyperlinked. I can also embed some video. So let's say I had video of Westminster, or, you know, maybe it's even, we'll just show you as an example with some Coldwell Banker video here. Again, it would be any video that you're allowed to use. We're going to go to YouTube. We're going to find the link for that particular video. It could be, you know, maybe you have your own YouTube channel and it's a video of you talking about that particular neighborhood. We're going to click on this share button here, and we're going to click on the embed video. So you're going to look at the greater than less than sign. Just remember that picture there. Once we click on that, it's going to give us a bunch of Swahili that I can't read. Couldn't tell you what that means. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to hit the copy button. That's going to copy all of that information for me. Remember that greater than less than sign. I'm going to go ahead and embed this. I'm going to go ahead and just paste that in there, and it's going to pull that video up for me here. I can put my cursor to the right-hand side. If I want to go ahead and align that in the center, I can do that. You know, I can type some more additional information down here. I can go through the key characteristics of this community. Again, I am just overly cautious. Neighbors are friendly. Maybe they're friendly now, but maybe my person moves in and all the neighbors move out, and then the neighbors are not friendly. So I usually don't add anything that has to do with people, just to be very cautious of fair housing. But some of these others, you know, if there's golf in the neighborhood, you know, if the streets are well lit, things like that, maybe some attractions, some local attractions, local parks, if there's a marina, anything like that, you can add there. And you can add a community image. Now, if you have a professional photographer that comes out to take photos of your properties, you can always ask them to take a few of the neighborhood. Maybe, you know, if I listed my house, I would have them go a mile down the road and take a few pictures of the local park. It's right on the water. It has a public boat launch. It makes the house more attractive. But then I can use that in my community pages. So I can add an image, select the file from my computer. I can go through and I have some stock images as well. These are all free stock images that I was able to download online. And I can upload that stock image. Westminster really is kind of, you know, has a lot of horse country to it. So this photo very well does represent Westminster. Again, SEO, title, meta description. If you want to get help on those, there is a link here. Your field marketing specialist can also help you customize with those as well. And then you just want to save it. Now, I'm not going to save this because this is on Sandy's page and I don't want to mess up her stuff. But once you save it, it's going to pop up here alphabetically in this list. You can delete anything that you want at any time. Just know there's no trash bin. There's no recycling can. If you delete it, it's gone. You would have to go in and input it. But let's say I went in and I added some information. I could go in and I could add that particular information if I need to update something. So here, White Marsh, let's see that I put in the wrong information. So that's actually Perry Hall. So here we have, Perry Hall. So we'll add that. We'll say Perry Hall. And we can go down and we can hit save. And anything that we have in there, again, we can go in, we can use the pencil, we can update it, we can add to it, we can add a photo later, we can go back in and add some information later. Go to Prospect Square and grab that area report to that live link that will automatically update for us every month. We can add Prospect Square reports literally into every single one of these, and it will come out on our website. If you are a pro, you will also have the blog feature. If not, another feature that I find is very underutilized on our websites are the testimonials. So you can go and you can see she has a lot of testimonials. She does have the name she did take from Zillow. So it does say Zillow 5-star review. If it were me, I would definitely make sure that the client's name maybe is there, but you can go in, and then when I go to Sandy's page, I can actually look at all of her testimonials. If I scroll down, see if she may have those on her main page. She does not, but I can go to her more about Sandy. Oh, she does. There they are down there. But here I can go to her page and scroll down, and I'm going to see testimonials, and I can read through them. And this is really important because this isn't Sandy saying, hey, I'm the best, you should buy and sell with me. And we know it's just like Amazon. These are reviews about Sandy. These are other people telling you that she's amazing and that you should work with her. The other benefit of that is I can send someone directly to my website. They can go to my more about. So she has a more about, or maybe it just is about, or maybe it's Meet Sandy, however you have it labeled, and they can recommend you here directly. They don't have to sign in. They don't have to give information. You can just click the recommend me button. It could be your family, your friends, your colleagues, those title officers and home inspectors and lenders that you're working with. Have them come to your page, ask them to leave you a 3 to 4 sentence testimonial, something that you can also do for them as well. Anybody that especially clients, they can go and put their name, Sandy is great, whatever, they're not a robot, and they would recommend. The benefit is that's going to go automatically to your website. People will see those testimonials. You can push them out on your social media. We do have a brand serve tile to help you do that. But a great way to get testimonials, a very easy way. And I usually start all of my relationships with letting people know that I'm going to give them 5-star service. If at any time I'm not giving them 5-star service, let me know. I'm going to step up my game, because at the end of the transaction, although our relationship is not going to end, I am going to ask them for a review. It'll really help me out and build my business. What I found along the way is people would start asking me, can I give you that review now? I'd really like to give you a great review. And I didn't really have to ask for it as much. So just so you know, again, you can just go in and add, if you have Zillow reviews, if you have any testimonials from the past, if you're a new agent and you're trying to get testimonials, call the friends, call the family. It is a great lead generation tool to remind them you do real estate, and they could really help you out. With that, also, you can go through. I do like to point out the listing search does have options for what people can search. So you can go through and toggle those. And you will see here, she has hers toggled to the 6th property. I can go on to Sandy's page and look at 5 different properties before it requires me to sign in. If you want to actively have people register on your site, again, it's if they want to favor something, if they want to look at photos. I have mine set to 2 properties. But again, you can go through. I would not ever, just as a personal suggestion, have it on more than the 6th property. If I can go to your website and I can look at everything under the sun for forever, there is no need for me to ever register, which means you don't get my information and you can't lead gen to me. That said, that is basically all of it. We've covered, hyperlinks, embedding your video. That does work the same on all of these pages as well. Different widgets I will run through quickly. So on your home screen, you will see different sections. So your widgets are going to be basically the paragraphs of this particular page. We can see we have our website layout that will always be at the top. We have some custom content here. We can go in at any time and edit that. We can move that down the page. We have some custom content here. An embedded video. We have another embedded video. We do have featured properties where Sandy's gone in and selected properties that she wants featured on her website. You can go in and edit. I can move that up a little if I want, down the page. I can determine anytime that I want to go in and change the template, what that's going to look like on my website. Communities served. So you can see she started to put her communities in. I can edit that as well. Do I want there to be photos? If you've included a photo, your photo will appear. If not, you will receive these stock images from the system. And again, I can toggle that, make that look any way that I want it to look. Again, no wrong answer, just whatever you prefer. Same with any of your recent sales. How do you want those to appear on your page? And then also your contact card. So remember we had that bio summary. So Sandy has selected one where there is a bio summary. You do have additional options here that you can go in and toggle through. Again, whatever you prefer is the correct option. So I'll leave hers alone. She does have some blog here because she is a pro user. Testimonials, you're able to add those as well. We can edit, and there are 2 different versions for testimonials. And here we would just add the widget here. We would add the one that we would like to select. It's going to shove it down on the bottom for us. We can go in, we can edit that information. We can also add a widget here. Once we are done, we want to preview and save. We're going to get to the preview button. We're able to see what it's going to look like on a mobile device. What is it going to look like on a tablet? What is it going to look like on a desktop? And we hit the save button. If you do not get to the preview button where all of those different viewpoints are, and you just hit preview and save, everything that you had will disappear. It will be heartbreaking. Please make sure you follow through to that last save button. And again, I can add a widget here if I want to add an image, testimonials, etc. I would just hit that button. Add a headline if I would like to. It's not required. Do I want that to be on a white background on my primary color, my secondary color? Remember, my secondary color was purple, not gray. So I can choose that from here. I can add all of that information, hit next and hit save. So what that's going to do is that's going to bring that up at the bottom. If I want that at the top of my page, I can just constantly hit the move up button until it's situated on my page where I want it. Or if I don't want that anymore, I can hit delete. It will delete it. I'm still going to preview and save. Excuse me. And then save to make sure that all of my edits, and congratulations, they have been saved. So that is your InTouch, kind of in a nutshell, how to customize your website, how to get some good information on there. If it looks overwhelming, please feel free to reach out to your field marketing specialist. We are here to help you, customize your website. Anything that you need help with, please feel free to contact us. That's what we are here for. And with that, I'll stop the recording. It will be available in the chat